2 ERL GT4 Podium Sprint Cup. This is round 1. So this is a new championship that we're running. So a bit more of a relaxed champion. Oh, I'll say relaxed. It's never relaxed when it comes to these guys, but not quite as competitive as the elite championships. So these guys will all be driving GT4 cars. They're in teams. So there's 3 drivers to a team, as you can see, and there'll be 2 rounds tonight. So this track has been chosen randomly 10 minutes ago. So these guys have literally had 5-10 minutes to do some practice, and now they're going to be straight into qualifying. The second race will be reverse grid from 16th to 14th. So a bit like touring cars, really. So these guys are obviously some of these lads will have driven this track in this game. I'd imagine a very iconic track, but it's whether they've drove it in this car combination. Get on with these guys and see how they're getting on. So these guys will qualify. See where we go. So out front at the minute, leading the pack, we've got Highfield in the McLaren. Harsh in the Porsche, giving himself a 5-second penalty immediately. All penalties have now been switched on because even though they've only had 10 minutes, these guys have realised they can run the wall like the NASCAR driver did and gain lap time. You've got Lucky in the Lexus, followed by his teammate Dad Leisure. And then we've got Smiley or Rico in the Mitsubishi Evolution, followed by Apex in the Nissan GTR, Boosted in the KFC livery Toyota, Ronnie in the Porsche, Bibby in the Nissan GTR there. He is Apex's teammate. Shippo, who is reserve driving tonight, has been brought into the Lamborghini squad. That car very loose. LeChick driving in the Evo. He is Smiley's teammate. Fishtail in the second of the KFC liveried Toyota Supras. Their other teammate Gloss, unfortunately not with us today. He will be racing again tomorrow. So these guys will be in Group 4 cars tomorrow for an endurance race. Still in teams. There'll be 2 qualifying races tomorrow, which will not be streamed, and then there will be a final from those 2 qualification races. David says Team Lexus. So he's going to be gunning for Lucky and Dad. Let's see what lap times these guys set then as they come round. Highfield in the McLaren. I fortunately managed to win this championship last year in the McLaren, but unfortunately not able to race this season with it. So Highfield set to 1:17.6. He goes into first quickly. Drop down the order though. These lads setting fast lap times already. So we've got Boosted in the Supra already, setting a 1:15. That is an incredibly fast lap time. We have a car, Jay, glitching all over the place there. Hopefully he can get that sorted out before the race, or else the other lads are going to be struggling to drive around him. He has gone into second position though. Apex into third, Smiley into fourth, Ronnie in fifth, Dad into sixth, Hard in seventh, Bibby 8th, Highfield 9th, Fishtail 10th, Lucky into 11th, Shippo 12th, and the Chicken 13th at the minute. think we worked out to this evening's, well, this round one will be a 16 lap race. These guys just getting accustomed to this track at the minute. On board with Boosted for a minute. See how he's getting on in this Supra. Super low fuel onto his final lap here. He is purple. Coming into this banked left hand corner, carries a lot of speed into it. Hardly zero lift there. These lads should be setting their fastest laps now, obviously super low on fuel. Here we go. What lap time's he going to set here? No, and he doesn't, mate. He doesn't gain any time at all there. So it looks like Jay, even with the glitching, has taken pole position by the looks of it. He'll be very happy with that. We'll let this session finish and then we'll see where they all stand for the start of the race. So we have Jay in pole, Boosted second, Harj third, Smiley in fourth, Apex fifth, Ronnie sixth, Bibby seventh, Dad eighth, Fishtail in ninth, Highfield in 10th, Lucky in 11th, Shippo down in 12th, and the chick bringing up the rear in 13th. So it's good to see because there is good spread of cars there within that first 8 positions there, which is good to see. It's good to see that all of them sort of running equally. Few of the drivers congratulating each other there. These guys have gone from some of these guys have gone from arch enemies in the Elite Championship and the GT3 Championships to now being teammates. I mean, I don't know how much any of these guys will work as a team, but there is points on the line for the teams here. I don't know how long a break we're going to have. It's not going to be long. These guys will get running very shortly. Red Line Racing says, come on Lexus. Got a few fans of the Lexus here. Here we go. Oh no, not yet. These guys all on the line here. Here we go. What's going to happen? First GT4 race of the championship. Is he going to be shaken up? You'll get away from the lights. Jay looks like not such a good jump there. Switch to another driver because of his connection. Smiley trying to squeeze that Porsche through the middle. I mean, Smiley's in the Mitsubishi, taking the lead. Absolutely, looks like an absolute rocket ship that Evo does in a straight line. He takes the lead, closely followed by Boosted. Don't know what's going on here, but it looks like Jay's connection is glitching some of the other drivers that are around him. It's going to be very hard to race him while he's glitching like that. He is into second though. We can't go on board or anything with him because of how bad the connection is. So Boosted has now taken the lead and has managed to pull a 1.2 second gap immediately. I'd imagine some of these drivers will be put off by Jay's vehicle. Boosted now with a 1.3 second lead on the first lap, followed by Jay, followed by Smiley, Ronnie, Apex into 5th, Dad into 6th. He's now being overtaken on the inside by Highfield. No, he manages to close the door. Dad's teammate, Lucky, into 8th now, with Fishtail in 9th, Haas in 10th, with a 5 second penalty, Shippo in 11th, Bibby 12th, and the chick with 10 seconds worth of penalties down in 13th. Jay seems to be closing in on Boosted and Smiley at the same time. I don't know what's going on here with Jay's connection, but as you can see, he is driving through the inside of Smiley's car, which must be very off-putting. Gap is closing though. These guys are closing in on Boosted. They're not letting him get away. Boosted, our very recent winner of the Group 3 3-hour race of the Nürburgring. That beautiful KFC livery. Starting to edge his gap out a little bit through this last sector here. Jay and Smiley still joined at the hip there, with Ronnie in 4th position, Apex still in 5th. Highfield has now worked his way up to 6th, which leaves the 2 Lexus teammates towing each other along here. I don't know how friendly they're going to be. Will they work together or will they battle? Deputy Fishtail, who is Boosted's teammate at the minute, down in 9th position in the other Supra, followed by Shippo in 10th, Bibby in the GTR in 11th, Haas now all the way down into 12th, 3.5 seconds behind, followed by the chick at the back. Boosted now only half a second clear of Smiley, who seems to be working hard to catch up. They now have a small gap over Jay. We don't know if there's been an incident for Jay. Looks like he may be slightly dropping off the back of them and into the clutches of Ronnie now in the McLaren. In the Porsche, sorry. That Mitsubishi very fast in a straight line, so it'd be interesting to see when he does get right on, if he can get on right onto the back of the Boosted, what he can do. Very fast track this, nice and short lap time. So this will be quite a short race. Smiley now closing in the slipstream of Boosted. He's not going to be close enough to make a move yet, but he may be after he gets around this corner. Slowly edging him in here. Falling up to the back of him in this slipstream. Is he going to make a dive to the in or outside here and go for a move, or is he going to choose to follow? Both swing onto the apron. Nice and sideways from there. Neither of these guys want to make contact with the wall, as that will be an immediate 5-second penalty for a collision with the wall. Jay now in 3rd. Ronnie into 4th. It's good to see Ronnie up in those, amongst those front guys. Apex in 5th. Highfield in 6th in the McLaren. Dad Hound in the back of him. The 2 teammates. When Highfield looks in his mirror, all he will see is that sea of gold from the 2 Lexuses side by side. Boosted now. Just 4/10 clear of Smiley. Smiley's even closer than he was the lap before. So by the end of this, it won't be this straight. I'd imagine it'll be the next straight. He'll make a dive. Choosing to bump. Did that look like the back of Boosted there? Couldn't quite see it. We'll go on board with Smiley in case he does decide to make a move here. He moves to the left-hand side, moves to the bottom half of the track, pulls up to the left-hand side of Boosted. They are side by side now, drag racing. That Toyota pulling back away once Smiley comes out of the slipstream. Smiley chooses to dive to the bottom half of the track. Boosted has had a collision with the wall here. I think that may be a penalty. Will he get away with it, or is that going to be a penalty for Boosted? We'll have a look. It looks like he's just got away with it. He's managed to pull away in that position, but ran a very risky line then, flipping the wall. In turn, he's gone 3/10 purple for this lap. Pulled himself a nice lead, considering they were side by side at the beginning of this lap. He's now gave himself a little bit of breathing room. I mean, it's not a lot, but it's a little bit. Smiley will be straight back into that slipstream though. Surprisingly, that Toyota seemed to pull away once Smiley pulled out of the slipstream to pull along Boosted. Smiley seemed to drop back a little bit. Jay's still there. I mean, he's 1.5 seconds away from the back of Smiley, but he is still there, with Ronnie under a second behind him. Apex in turn pushing the back of Ronnie here. Highfield in 6th position there. We've now Wrench on the back of him. Fishtail has managed to work his way past Dad, who then dives to the inside of Fishtail. Fishtail manages to stay on the power there and get away on the outside of Dad. Such a difficult track to make overtakes on, because those corners where you dive to the inside, you lose the momentum of sweeping around the outside on the power. Bibi in 10th, Shippo and Haj now battling for 11th and 12th. The chicken 13th. Let's get back to the front. We still have Boosted there. Looks like Smiley has pulled him in slightly again on this lap. 9 laps to go at the end of this lap. Super consistent lap times from these two. Slow lap there though for Boosted, dropping into the 1:16s when his lap before was a 1:15.1. He was a second slower that lap time. Smiley now pulling into the back of him in that slipstream, gaining and gaining down the straights. But it must be disheartening for Smiley knowing that the last time he pulled out of that slipstream, another collision with the wall there from Boosted. I don't quite understand how he's not getting penalties from clipping that wall. Wall collisions are on. He must not be making enough of a connection with that wall for it to register as a penalty. Jay has also closed right into the back of Smiley here. Jay is not going away from this battle. He is pushing to get back onto the back of these guys. He's going to want to upset the apple cart. Those top three now have got 4.5 seconds in front of now Apex. Apex has managed to work his way around Ronnie somehow. Whether there was penalties involved or whether there was a pass on track, we didn't quite see that. We were focused on the front. Ronnie now tucked right into the back bumper of Apex. He pulls out to the left there. Absolute drag race between these guys. You can't even see Ronnie. Here we go, he stays on the inside of him. Hopefully Apex can see him. The Porsche pulling slightly ahead of the GTR now. They are still both completely in this. Apex is going to sweep round the outside here and force Ronnie down to the inside. Or there was a slight bit of contact then, but both of them did well to give each other space. Flash of the lights there from Ronnie. Both of those guys played very fairly then. That was great to see. Good racing. Good, clean racing, which is what we want in this league. In all of our leagues. So these guys are battling massively for that 4th and 5th position. They have a slight gap back then of 3.5 seconds down to Highfield. This battle here of these guys. You got Highfield in the McLaren, followed by Lucky in the Lexus, Fishtail in the other Supra, and now who has Dad Leisure in the other Lexus all over the back of him. These guys took tightly into each other's slipstreams here. Pulls out in the Lexus here. getting on the inside of Fishtail. Which car is going to win this drag race? Looks like his teammate moves over to give him the slipstream. Very, very good teamwork there from these two. Lucky could see that his teammate needed the slipstream. Lucky is now, though, had to move over to the outside of the track, which in turn is giving Fishtail the slipstream. Both Lexuses now in tandem through the left-hander. And the move looks like it is now made by Dad. Great teamwork from the two Lexuses there to work together to get past Fishtail. He won't give this up though. He will be all over the back of Dad, and I'd imagine he'll be trying to return the favour as quickly as possible. Harge now starting to close these guys in from the look of it. Got a very bad start for Harge. The penalty and stuff at the beginning, so he'll definitely want to work his way back up a bit through these guys. Let's get up front and see what's going on up there. It looks like it's settled down a little bit now, with Boosted being a second clear of Smiley. These guys look like they've settled into a rhythm now. Obviously, none of them are going to want to give it up, but Boosted seems to have steadied the ship a little bit there. Smiley in second and Jay still circulating in third there. These guys absolutely clear of the pack behind, as we see Ronnie now back in front of Apex. Apex tucked in super tight, runs up onto the apron now to try and sweep round the outside of Ronnie. Side by side now as they come down into the right-hander. Ronnie on the inside, Apex on the outside. Great move from Apex there. Dives round the outside, forces Ronnie to have to go narrow into that corner, which in turn cuts all his momentum. Big part of racing these GT4 cars is carrying the momentum around the track. They're not like the GT3 cars where you can stop them, point and shoot, and they'll pick up speed super quick. Carrying momentum is a massive part of your strategy around these circuits, especially these high speed circuits that we're on now. Ronnie now tucked tightly back into the slipstream of Apex. He is going to be returning the favour by the looks of it by the end of the next straight. I would imagine we will see him pull out to the side. He's gone a bit early there. He's going to try and sweep round the outside as Apex dives down to the bottom of the apron. Ronnie goes up to the top of the banking. Looks like Jay and Smiley are battling for the second position. I can see the names switching continuously. They are now back adjoined. Must be very difficult to race. Oh, Jay on the grass there, loses it. Big crash from Jay. Big crash. That is not what he would have wanted. He's worked super hard to get there. Impossible to watch what's going on there. He manages to get himself turned around, but with a 5-second penalty from a wall collision, now has dropped himself from third to fifth. He was battling for second there. Unfortunately, got a little bit on the grass with that right rear wheel, which just pitched the car sideways, and he couldn't quite correct it properly. It spat him off the left-hand side into the barrier. Boosted now starting to assert dominance now. 1.7 seconds now the gap to Smiley. Matt, what happened to Jay? Jay literally was battling with Smiley, caught the grass when he was trying to make a move with his right hand wheel on the inside. It's pushed the car to the right, he lost the back end, overcorrected it, and then hit the barrier on the left hand side in this next right hander where Boosted is heading into now. Jay was on the inside, he ran the curb super tight there, cut across the grass and lost the back end, overcorrected and hit the barrier on the opposite side. That's very unfortunate for Jake. He was battling really hard with Smiley for second. Apex now in third. He has Jay on the back of him. Jay will have to serve that 5-second penalty though. That will be massive. That'll drop him right off the back of Ronnie then. Very unfortunate. Highfield will get past here as well by the looks of it. Yeah. Highfield getting past his teammate now. And it's dropping Jay right back into the clutches of those two Lexuses. There you go. Wrench straight round. Well, through him really. Harsh now has joined this party as well. Harsh has worked his way back up into 8th from the Porsche. What a great drive from Harsh considering where he was at the beginning of this race. Jake back up to 6th. Dad now shuffled down into 9th. Deputy Fishtail dropping off the back of these guys. Bibby into 11th. Shippo 12th. And LeChick. It looks like he may be about to be lapped by these top 2. Smiley now closing that gap back in. It was 2 seconds at the beginning of this lap. He looks like he's making a big push here to get back onto the back of Boosted. Boosted seems to be slightly quicker through this last sector though. He seems to pull a little gap through from that corner to the last corner. Will Smiley be able to get back onto the back of Boosted into this slipstream and battle for the win here? Or is Boosted just going to be able to hold on, keep the gap enough to keep Smiley out of the slipstream and out the danger zone here? Boosted will be getting a pull from LeChick by the looks of it though. He will be in the slipstream of LeChick very shortly, if not already. Which will be helping him along, as you can see, extending that gap a little bit more there. Sweeps around the outside of the left-hander very nicely. Smiley does the same, perfect line choice. LeChick moves to the left-hand side and lets the leader through. What we like to see with our rules, the back marker does not have to yield. They do not have to move out of the way. I'd imagine he's going to want to get out of the way of his teammate though. I can see LeChick getting, yeah, he pulls right out of the way of his teammate there. Oh no, he's still in front of him at the minute. Boosted now 2 seconds clear. Smiley now tucking down under his teammate down the final straight. These guys now 10 seconds clear of Ronnie, who's managed to get himself into 3rd now. He's back in front of Apex. These guys have been battling constantly for this whole race. They've had a great battle. It's been good to see. These guys absolutely hounding each other. They're going to be, both of them, desperate to take this last step on the podium. But I'll tell you what, Highfield is looking menacing just behind. He looks like he could be getting involved in this party as well. Might be just a bit too much to ask for him to close that gap. They've only got a lap and a half left of this race. Highfield's done well to get himself into 5th position there. Apex and Ronnie now really fighting for this 3rd position, last step on the podium. Apex dives to the inside. Ronnie running the outside line there, looks like he may have run a bit wide. Apex now trying to cut back on the inside. Such good racing from these two, door to door, bumper to bumper, it's what we like to see at ERL. Side by side now into the last left-hander. Ronnie holds the inside position, Apex the outside position, gets the speed round the outside. It's going to be a struggle for Apex to hold on through these, down these 2 straights now. He's going to be vulnerable with the slipstream from Ronnie. Ronnie tucked tightly in. Highfield is closing these guys quite quickly as well. He's pulled a 2nd in that lap. And Harj is pushing like an absolute maniac to catch up to the back of Highfield as well. Harsh was down in 12th position at the beginning of this race, a long way after the back of the pack with a 5-second penalty. He's done very well to get himself back up amongst these guys. Let's get on with Boosted then. Get back on with Apex for a second before we give Boosted his glory over the line. Looks like Apex may have solidified that position now with 9/10 in between him and Ronnie. Highfield still pushing hard. Boosted now coming up to the last corner. He has to hold on for one more corner to take the victory of round 1 of this Sprint Cup, the Podium Sprint Cup GT4 class. And that, here we go. Boosted over the line to take the number 1 position. Closely followed by Smiley in 2nd place. Great start to the championship for those two. That's the chick in 30. Apex just holding on here to third place. Will he be able to hold on to it on the line? Are we going to see a pass at the line? That is... Look at that. Look how close that was. Virtually the same time across the line, but Apex just holds on for the last podium position. Followed by Ronnie, followed by Highfield. Harge in 6th. Dad in 7th. Fishtail in 8th. Bibby 9th. Shippo 10th. Jay now with another accident down. Well, French into 11th. I don't know what happened to Lucky there on the last lap. He was right with all those guys. Jay, unfortunately, has gone from 2nd to 12th. He'll be devastated with that after battling for 2nd position for so long. It's such a shame. Congratulations there. So we'll run through this one more time before we end the stream. We will be back live in the next 10 minutes for the 2nd round of this championship, which will be from the Red Bull Ring. So we got Boosted taking 1st position, Smiley in 2nd, Apex in the 3rd position, Ronnie in 4th, Highfield 5th, Harge 6th, Dad 7th, Fishtail 8th, Bibby in 9th, Shippo 10th, Lucky in 11th, Jay in 12th, and a chick in 13th. Thank you everybody for watching. We will be back shortly for round 2 of this championship at the Red Bull Ring. Hope you can all join me, and we'll see you shortly.